Dum, 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 dum. As I stand here contemplating. So listen, what's going on, everybody? It's Thursday. Funky Dineva back in the building. Guess what, y'all? I text Quad right before I got on the show, and I said, sis, you back in the States? I need to lay eyes on you. She said, yeah, she just got back last night at 12 o'clock midnight. And I asked her, did she want to go to dinner when I got off the show? Because I needed to lay eyes on her. She's like, no, I'm tired. We could get together tomorrow. And I wrote her back and I was like, yes, we have got to go to lunch because I am dying to hear about all the punani peddling that was going on over there in Africa for dirty December, baby. So y'all know I'm going to get an earful tomorrow at lunch and I'm going to come back and report all them people business that she tell me because it's good. Listen, I know that after being over there in Africa for almost 3 weeks, them girls is probably back in Atlanta walking as if they rode a horse over to Atlanta. All the punani peddling that was going on down over there to the thing. Nevertheless, y'all, is it me or is this lighting just hitting my skin correctly today? Let me find out. I'm getting finer with age, okay? Fine as wine. But listen, I cannot take credit for all this good skin by myself. I put the link down there at the bottom of my page, guys. And if you guys go to my link, which is butterskin.com/Funky Dineva, and you purchase through my link, you'll get a discount off. And I told y'all I've got a deal with Buttah, and there's a whole slew of products that I'm going to be ambassading for y'all because y'all know I'm a Buttah Skin ambassador. It's so much I'm going to be ambassading. But before I can get y'all into the intermediate levels of skincare, you got to start out on the bottom level. And you already know what I'm going to talk about. Basically, just washing your face. I'm not going to make this long and lengthy, but you want to go get your Buttah Skin Transformation Kit. It is a 3-step process. A cleanser, a vitamin serum, and a moisturizer for your face. And y'all need to stop washing y'all face with the same towel y'all use to wash y'all ass. And y'all need to get y'all Buttah Silky Soft towels. They are biodegradable. They exfoliate. They are hypoallergenic. You get a fresh towel and everything. And that alpha exfoliate, the exfoliating component of these towels is how you get silky chocolate skin like this. Just let me find out, bitch. I'll take your husband and your man. Ow. Let me turn this fan on. It's hot in here. Y'all know how to work from home people go. They got on sweats, but got on their nice blouse for work. I got on my nice blouse for work. But the minute somebody said, Q, you got on Fenty makeup. I ain't never wore Fenty in my life. I ain't never wore Fenty in my life. I don't even know who that is. What candle I'ma burn today? We shouldn't be burning nothing with all those doggone fires going on in LA. But I am going to, I feel like I'm going to be calm, cool, and collected today. So for those of y'all in the Funky Bunch that got your 11-11 candle, we're going to burn 11-11 today. And then I think me and Pretty Place going to go to Roof Chris when I leave here. So I'm just going to drink water and save my cocktails for later on tonight. But how y'all doing? Good. Y'all don't forget, Funky Dineva collection candles are available for sale right now and through the end of the week, guys. We are giving 20% on the bundles. You get 2 candles, 11-11 and 305, along with the body spray. And I just got off the phone earlier today with the manufacturer and the distributor, Rashida from Mood Servant. And the Valentine's bundles are together, guys. She gave me some samples of some scents. And oh my God, I cannot wait until we begin to roll those out to y'all. But we ain't gonna load the top of the show with a whole bunch of ass. We're gonna go ahead and get into what's going on. The moment y'all been waiting for. The list. The list that we talked about last night. Baby, I got the list of the scammers. Oh, really quickly, somebody said, Funky Dineva, the Botox is Botoxing. Actually, it's not. It's faded. It's actually about time for me to go get my Botox redone. Now, I just woke up like this. They're done. I just woke up like this. My Botox is actually fading because when my Botox is fresh, I can't even do this. So no, that's just me, love. I woke up like this. They're done. All right, y'all. So y'all want me to go down the list? I'm gonna say this for the middle of the show, but I got all the lists. I got the list for all the girls who try to do credit card fraud on my cruise and try to mess up my business. And since you tried to mess up my business, I got no problem messing up your life. And I'm gonna tell all y'all businesses, y'all be tripping because y'all forget people got y'all names and y'all addresses. Now I'm smart enough not to put your name and your address out there, but I got y'all Facebook profile pictures, and I'm going one by one down this list and read all of y'all balding heifers who tried to file fraud, knowing damn well you signed up to go on my cruise trying to tear up my business. All right. Don't worry, we're gonna get to the list. But before we get to the list, guys, I told you guys I was having fun sometimes when you guys post a question of the day. And when I find one that's worth sharing, I love dropping it in at the top of the show. And I think it's a great way to kind of set an energetic, fun tone at the top of the show in the opening segment. So I want to hit y'all with a question of the day today. Especially those of y'all who are in my age bracket who once upon a time had a real good time in the club, but not upon a time don't have a real good time in the club anymore. And I want to get y'all opinion on what this one social media had to say. Dr. Alejandro at I Am the Flyer said, can we all agree that section and bottle service culture ruined the club experience? What's y'all take on that? Can we all agree that section and bottle club service culture ruined the club experience? So being here in Atlanta, I'm plugged in with a lot of friends that own restaurants, lounges, bars. I'm plugged in with a lot of promoters. And here is what's funny now. They have gotten so accustomed to doing bottle service, table service, and sections that in their mind now, their mind tells them they can't make any money without selling tables. Like I have my promoter friends that text me when they're having parties and stuff, and they're like, Q, just reach out to see if you want a table. Quiet as it's kept, they are not even concerned about general admission patrons. They are not concerned one bit. And you can tell because the clubs, the lounges, they no longer cater to the person that just wants to come in, pay their $10, $15, $20 and dance. I want to add one thing to this list. I think tables and bottle sections, tables, bottle service ruin the club. And I also think cell phones and social media ruined the club. Like there is nothing worse than being out in public and a person can't enjoy the moment because they're too busy scrolling to their phone, trying to find the appropriate Snapchat filter, trying to purposely blow hookah in such a way to look cool on the doggone phone. Quiet as it's kept, now that I think about it, I clubbed real hard in college and shortly thereafterwards. And to be very honest with you, when we were in college, there was no place to sit at the club at all. I don't know about where y'all went to college at, but when we were in college, there was at the Moon in Tallahassee, there was somewhere to sit up at the little top, but nobody was even pressed about sitting down. That was the last thing anybody was worried about. Now, in the 2000s, I graduated college 05. When I moved back to Miami and my homegirls started like entertaining football players and athletes and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I would go to the club with them. The tables and stuff were reserved for like football players and entertainers. Regular people like us still was not worried about no table. Yeah, you felt like you was a little somebody if you was able to get in on a football player name and sit at their table, but it was still all about the dance floor. These days and times now, just the whole concept of dance floor has gone away. Nobody even goes to the club anymore. And I'm going to tell you something. And if the club business wasn't so risky and you and y'all cousins wasn't so crazy, I wouldn't even mind going into the club business with somebody and naming it the club. Okay. And literally there wouldn't be a chair in sight. There would not be a chair in sight. And the only rule is back in them college days, when you leave here, your mascara need to be running, your shoes need to be in your hand, and your hair need to be swollen. I remember all the girls in college used to have the Delta do. They used to have the Delta do, the bouncy wrap. And baby, that rap would be bouncing and flowing at the time we got in the club. But by the time we left the club, that bad boy would be an afro, mascara would be down to here, shirt would be wet, dress and dress shirt to be cocked to the side. And quite frankly, no matter how much of a foot dragger you might have looked walking out the club with no shoes on, every man had no shirt on. The Q Dogs was outside hopping with no shirts on, and all the girls had no shoes on. Feet was just as dirty and black at the bottom as they wanted to be. That was a good time. Mind you, we went to the club dressed like we was going to a job interview, bitch. Okay, so blazer, express blouse, all shit just be balled up. Don't even know where your shirt. That was the time. And for the life of me, I don't understand why we went to the club looking nice, but we left looking dogged out and ran through. We could have saved ourselves a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money getting dressed had we just went to that bad boy in our gym clothes. But we lived and had a good time. When I be going to the club now, I be going with James. James be dragging me. James a little younger than me. My friend James, now he a little younger than me. He all about the bottles and the clubs and the chairs and stuff. I will say this, at 41, when I'm thrust to be in an environment that I really don't want to be in, I do like a little sit down and a little cocktail, but I wish I was sitting down and observing other people dancing and having a good time now. People don't dance and have a good time anymore. Those were the good days. Shouts out to everybody that was in Tallahassee while I was there, 2001 through 2005. Y'all know about the Moon, Late Night Library, Sloppy Joe's, CPA, Bullwinkles, Chubby's, Club Deep, all them clubs we used to go to back in Tallahassee. That was a good time. Guys, let me see what somebody said. Shouts out to Miss Parker, who said when club owners of nicer establishments began to cater to street dealers and neighborhood rappers, the allure faded. I agree with you. Quiet as it's kept, there used to be a time when you actually could go to the club and meet somebody different, meet somebody decent. I wouldn't even try to talk to nobody that I meet in no doggone club these days and times. Quiet as it's kept. Shouts out to Tallahassee. If anybody in the chat right now knew about them Tallahassee days, let me just put Tally Ho in the chat right now. I want to know how much of Tallahassee who was there when I was there, who understand everything that I'm saying. Put Tally Ho in the chat right now if you knew what I'm talking about back in them Tallahassee days. Yes, God, Tallahassee flooding it out. Tallahassee flooding out the chat. Tallahassee. If you ain't go to college in Tallahassee, bitch, you did not go to college. And I stand by that. I will stand in front of a speeding train and look any bitch in the face and say, if you didn't go to college in Tallahassee, bitch, you didn't go to college. Okay? Come on, Tally. Look how Tally flooding out the chat. If you did not go to Tallahassee for college, you didn't go to college. You simply went to class. There's a difference. Moving right along, guys. We got a little bit of sad news. Not sad in the sense of like we got to plan a funeral with them $6 million that Kamala left us in the funeral fund. But y'all, Sodom and Gomorrah is here on earth. LA is on fire, y'all. LA is on fire, and not in a good way. We already know everybody had that get you, yah in between their legs and in their butt out there in LA. We ain't talking about that type of fire. We talking about you too can prevent forest fires the way Smokey the Bear used to tell us when we was kids on Saturday morning watching the cartoons. Y'all, all we can do is really pray for LA. Now, you know how y'all always be wanting to pray for stuff that you actually can control when y'all be wanting to pray and when y'all just being lazy. This is the type of stuff that we need to be praying for. This is when you pray, okay? This is when you pray. This man right here, for the life of me, okay? I don't know why he and his dog stayed in his house long enough. Really quickly. I don't know why that man in the previous clip, him and his dog stayed in that house long enough to be able to catch that footage. I've never been in a wildfire. I've never been in any type of fire. However, excuse me, I am smart enough and geographically astute enough to know that if you can tell that fire is at least 20 or 30 blocks away from your house, it's time for you to get your ass in your car and leave. For the life of me, I don't know why anybody would stay in their home until the fire got that damn close. This is not like a flood or some other natural disaster that you can be like, oh, I'm going to stay at my house and try to fortify it so the waters don't get in. There is absolutely nothing you can do by staying at your house when there is a fire. There's nothing you can do. So I'm not understanding why his dumb self stayed. The fire is still raging in LA. And as of now, guys, we are now getting some footage from some of the aftermath of these fires. Take a look at some of these burnt down buildings, guys. Oh, I don't want to hear that. We're not going to hear Rise Up because we're not going to get my monetization stolen. But this is what LA is looking like. And guys, typically when we hear about these fires, they are in the more suburban outskirt areas of LA, you know, the rich people areas up in the mountains and whatnot. But this go around, it seems as if these fires are like affecting more of the common working class areas where people are at. And this is really, 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 really bad. I don't claim to know everything about the environment, but I do know that typically when we've experienced fires like this out in LA, it's been during the drier months or whatever. We are in winter now. And yes, I understand that California is a desert, but I would imagine that the foliage in that part of the world is still a little more moist than it would be in the hotter months. So I would just be curious to know what set off wildfires in the winter time out there in the deserts of LA. But our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in LA, everybody who's been affected by the fires in LA. There's a lot of celebrities, guys, that have been impacted by this situation. And unfortunately, our homegirl, our messy homegirl, who we all used to watch after school in middle school, her house don't burn down to the ground, honey. Down to the well, to the ground. What type of burnt? Well done, burnt, baby. They say Rickey Lake house look like when black people go to Ruth Chris and order they steak well done. Just ruined a perfectly good piece of meat. Baby, they say it's just burnt down to the ground. Favor Flav type of burnt. They say her husband lost everything in the home. They said dream home in California, our heaven on earth. You know, it sucks. Rickey Lake wasn't the only person to have lost her home. Rickey had a very nice home. Look at it. You know, and while I've never experienced a total loss, I can only imagine that this is hella devastating, considering the fact that the world tells us that literally our only point in being here is to work, get a good job, get a nice place to live, and die. You know what I'm saying? Like that ultimately is what all of us are working for right now, is to get a nice place to stay and then to die. And so it's sad because the nice place to stay is the ultimate pinnacle of success. And when people reach it, and then now all of a sudden it gets taken away from you, this could be devastating. But I am here to tell everybody who's been affected by these fires and everybody who's even in their dream homes now to never forget that the things that we have in terms of material possessions can be taken away from us today or tomorrow. And when it comes to surviving, you don't need a nice home, you need shelter. Okay. When it comes to surviving, you don't need a 5-star meal, you need food. When it comes to surviving, you don't need, you know, crisp mountain air, you need clean air. And with that being said, while I know it sucks and it hurts, the moral of the story is they've made it out with their lives and they get to live to see another day. And that is what we need to remember during these trying times. She said, what was the Nicki Giovanni quote you said about humility being a social construct? Off topic. So breathe the anti-socialite. It wasn't Nicki Giovanni. It was Maya Angelou. It's one of my favorite quotes. And Maya Angelou says, modesty is a fake social affectation. There's nothing really real about being modest. And that's always my response when people try to tell you to be humble or you need to be modest. And essentially for the slow people in the back, that quote means why. If somebody say to you, oh, girl, that's a nice dress you got on. We are conditioned to do this. What? This old thing? This old girl, I had this dress for 17 years in the back of my closet. We are taught to shrink in order to make the general populace comfortable. And Maya Angelou says, no, that's fake. You do have on a nice dress. That modesty is a fake social affectation. There's nothing really real about being modest. And it's the God honest truth. There's nothing really real about being modest. It's something that we're taught to be to make other people around us comfortable. Off topic. Moving right along, guys, there is some good coming out of all them damn cleaning fees that Airbnb has sucked from all of us over the doggone years. Airbnb.org is offering free temporary housing for individuals who are displaced by Los Angeles wildfires. Airbnb.org is bringing forth this effort with help from 211 LA in order to identify people who need a place to stay. The effort is funded by Airbnb.org and many other sites hosts who have offered their homes up for free. The company has linked to a form on their site where impacted residents can request housing. So, you know, when I got ready to prepare for tonight's show, guys, I was wondering how was Airbnb going to do this? And I'm just figuring that Airbnb.org is some type of holding company that has some funds that is going to actually pay the people who have Airbnbs. Because I was thinking to myself, I said, them ain't Airbnb houses to be giving anybody any damn thing for free. Them is not Airbnb houses. And somebody said they trying to get good press. It's smart. I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? The situation is happening anyway. So you might as well exploit it. And here's what I always tell people. Use me. Don't abuse me. Use me, but don't abuse me. Yes, if you are going to use this situation, don't abuse it. Use it for your good, because fair exchange will never be robbery. So if they're going to use these people in their tragedy, the least they can do is give these people something. I have absolutely no problem whatsoever with Airbnb doing this. And I think the big pharmaceutical companies need to follow suit. The medical companies need to follow suit. Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, all of those different companies need to follow suit when it comes to helping these people get what it is to get on their feet. And here is the unfortunate thing, guys, right? Here is the unfortunate thing. And I don't want to take the show political because I don't even have the emotional wherewithal to deal with it right now. But I have a feeling, because we got a petty, vindictive president that's about to get in the office, and I'm not doing this story tonight because I don't want to touch on it, but he already got in there going off on Gavin Newsom, already trying to politicize this situation. I have a feeling that because California is a Democratic state, that this president is not going to do everything in his power to help these people when it comes to relief fund and relief aids. I have a feeling that he is going to use it to sock it to Democrats. I got a feeling he's going to use it to push all type of agendas and radical ideology. This is just not going to be good. And quite frankly, politics is the last thing these people want to hear when they have lost everything. But y'all just watch and see what he's about to do that's going to make these people's pain compounded by his idiotic, insensitive remarks and his juvenile jabs at California government. So get ready. Moving right along, guys, on to our one last fire story. I know the top of the show is heavy with the fire, but baby, we is on fire and Molly is in danger. Somebody else who may or may not be riding the press train, but Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is offering free showers, Wi-Fi, and charging to wildfire victims and first responders in LA County. This is the beauty of community, and this is what it looks like. I think additionally, we need to lift whatever laws there are surrounding supermarkets throwing away food towards the end of their expiration. And all of this food needs to be donated to all of these people who have been displaced. What better way than to give people showers than in a gym YMCA situation where there's walls of showers? I think that this is great. I think other gyms need to follow suit. And I think that the government need to pay these people water bill and their light bill and their Wi-Fi bill for them co-opting their companies as makeshift relief centers for these people. So shouts out to Planet Fitness for their philanthropic efforts during this time. And y'all, we're going to continue to keep California in our prayers because that's literally all that we can do. Now, moving right along, guys, I got a question for you. You already know the answer. So listen, guys, we did a story about 2 nights ago where Angel Reese was dressed horribly. And, you know, in these days and times and in the world that Kris Jenner helped created of media stunts, I'm curious to know if Angel Reese was dressed so tragically in that other dress that she had on for New Year's, in an effort to give this extra steam. Now, listen, if y'all remember me correctly, I think I said, and everybody said, we know she's beautiful. We know she's got a banging body. We know she's model-esque. And all that she needed was a stylist. Let me tell y'all something. I am here to tell y'all, as much as Angel Reese and a lot of other girls complain about the WNBA doesn't pay what it is they need to make their bills, I'm looking at this Vogue cover and I'm giving to hell with the WNBA. I am literally giving to hell with the WNBA. There is something about this photo, particularly this one right here. I am loving the emotion that her face is emoting in this particular picture right here. It's given very, I was a peasant that was plucked out of the village and I've been put in these rich clothes and look at me now. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am loving everything that Angel Reese is serving. And I'm going to be very honest with you. And y'all know that I hate the whole comparing and pitting people against each other, but Caitlin Clark could never. Simply put, Caitlin Clark could never. She could never. Caitlin Clark could never. The universe and the ancestors are going to make sure Angel Reese gets her things. They are going to make sure Angel Reese gets her things. And I'm here to tell y'all, don't get me wrong, the WNBA should be in the history. But when we talk about long-term career stuff, from a pop culture perspective and for people who are not into sports, I think that this right here and these moves will be far more memorable than that WNBA stuff. Come on, somebody. You better give me lesbian dyke realness. You better give me dyke trying to be soft. That's what it's giving. It's giving masculinity, dyke trying to be soft. Give me this bust down real quick. You know what I'm saying? I am loving every ounce of it. I'm just loving it. Angel Reese, she does not have to try hard. She is a simple beauty, a classic beauty. That's what I'm loving about this dyke realness that she's giving. She's like, yeah, bitch, I'm a dyke, but I could give film. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it. I like to wear pants, and I'm sitting with my legs open like I got a big old dick or whatever, but I'm feminine up here. I'm feminine up here. I'm a nigga down here, but I'm feminine up here. I am loving every bit of it. You know, you've got some models who you have to beat their face down in makeup. You have some models that you have to dress. And then you've got Angel Reese. Angel Reese, these examples that Angel Reese is giving right now in Vogue is where I would like, I know she not gay, y'all. Angel Reese in Vogue is where I would like to see female rap and pop culture and reality TV. I would like to see it skew back this way, especially for the Black girls. I want to see the Black girls go back to a place where they're like, baby, we don't have to do all that. Because there are people out there who are beautiful after you doctor them up and doll them up with all the makeup and the clothes and stuff. And then there are the girls that simply woke up like this. Like if we look at this picture, Her face is not beat down. She's not beat down. She's not beat down at all. Look at it. It's a simple, natural beat. They rouged them cheeks. A soft lip, and she is sitting. She's sitting the girls down. Her face, this face in these clothes is the same face you go to the grocery store in. Y'all want something to eat from Popeyes real quick? Yeah, bring me a wing fling. Just real simple. I want to use the word basic, but basic has come on to take a negative connotation. I'm not referring to her as basic, but it's just a basic face. And it's beautiful. So shouts out to Angel Reese, and shouts out to all 8,000 of y'all who are with me tonight while we dipping and doing with these stories, because we're going to have us a good old time tonight. Amen. 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 Moving right along from Angel Reese, guys, here is something that's very interesting, and I want to pick y'all brains. I'm going to speak to this in length, but The View is set to expand to weekends with lighter pop culture focused segments starting January 11th. The new half-hour weekend segment will air on ABC News Live and will feature the show's popular Friday panel, Joe, Sonny, Sarah, Alyssa, Farrah, and Anna. Shouts out to my favorite Miami Nicaraguan or Venezuelan. Which one is Anna? Never mind. She's my Miami girl, Anna Navarro. The weekend edition will offer a deeper dive into the week's top stories with extended Hot Topic segments and highlights from the show's Behind the Table podcast. Karen Guilford, Senior Vice President for the Digital Media, ABC, yada, yada, yada. It's an opportunity for us to extend the conversation and give viewers more of what they want. Let me explain to y'all what's going on real here. Let me explain to y'all what's going on right now. Okay. When it comes to pop culture shows on television, shows that cover hot topics and gossip, so on and so forth, now is the time to strike. Now is the time to strike, because Wendy Williams left that purple chair and she left a huge void. The show Page 6 did not work. All of these panel style shows with all of these aging women have just become a bore. Nobody's watching The Chew, The Talk. You know, The View is holding on, but there is no place right now for people to come get the fun celebrity stories on television. And that's why this is kind of smart that The View is moving into that. But I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I don't know who's watching TV on Saturday. Do people even still watch TV on Saturday? I mean, I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I don't turn my TV on at all. And when I do, I don't put it on regular TV. When I turn my TV on, the first thing I do is go to Netflix, Hulu, Prime, HBO Max, one of those, and I start fumbling and bubbling through one of those. But I'm pretty sure the executives over there at ABC are smarter than I am. Or they say sports. People are watching sports. People ain't really watching it. So I would be curious to know who's going to be up to hear, you know, these above middle-aged women talk about entertainment topics. But I definitely understand that there is a void, and why not try to fill it until something or somebody comes along to help fill in the gap that Wendy Williams left when she departed from that purple chair. Speaking of The View, we got a little bit of mess. Now, y'all first story that y'all need to do on The View, and the number one rule of journalism is never become the story. But surgeon husband of The View co-host Sonny Hostin is accused of performing unnecessary surgery procedures for kickbacks. Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Emmanuel Hostin has been named among nearly 200 defendants in a federal lawsuit alleging fraudulent medical practices. According to the suit filed by the insurer American Transit, Hostin and others allegedly performed unnecessary surgeries and billed the company for substantial payouts, receiving kickbacks disguised as dividends. Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical records and healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries, claimed the lawsuit, which seeks over $450 million in damages. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Thwaites, dismissed the allegations as a blanket scattershot, meritless lawsuit, yada, yada, yada. So here's the thing, guys, right? Let's talk about the bigger picture and about our medical system when it comes to this story. When we go back to the United Healthcare situation and about how they file or deny claims, so on and so forth, the whole insurance company is a racket. I learned something from talking to Dr. Heavenly. I had a friend of mine who wanted me to refer her to Dr. Heavenly, and then she called me back and she said, "Q, I called Dr. Heavenly office and they said she don't take insurance." And so I called Dr. Heavenly and I said, "Dr. Heavenly, is this true that you don't take insurance?" Because again, I'm not in the field. All I knew was that doctor's offices took insurance. And when me and Heavenly later connected, she said, "Yeah, I don't take insurance. I'm a cash only practice. And I also offer people ways of getting finances." And I said, "Well, why don't you take insurance?" And she says, essentially, when you take insurance, the insurance companies, because they are such big conglomerates or whatever, and they have the ability to tell you, this is what you're going to, this is what we are going to pay you for a crown. This is what we are going to pay you for a filling. And because most people in medicine carry this attitude or mentality that I need my clients to pay with their insurance, most doctors' offices acquiesce. Heavenly said to me, she says, without taking insurance, if I don't take insurance, I can charge whatever it is that I feel is fair market value for a service or for a product. I'm just going to use fake numbers here. She says, if I do a crown, the insurance company says they'll only pay me $250 for a crown. But on the open market, I can charge $500 for a crown. Why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you this story because the insurance companies oftentimes force doctors to take much lower rates for practices and services and products than they feel that they need to take, it incentivizes people to be dishonest. You know, now I'm not making any type of excuse for what this man and the others allegedly did, but because insurance companies rig the prices and they try to get medical providers to provide goods and services for the lowest price possible, what a lot of people said is, okay, if I used to get $500 for a service and now you're going to charge me $250 for the service, then I'm going to write up a whole bunch of $250 services so I can get back to the revenue that I was making. Or since you are nickeling and diming me down on every service that's provided through your network, if I look like I could pass Sister Clarence through with a broke arm, even when it's just fractured for me to get that payout, that's what I'm finna do. Now, it's insurance fraud, but I'm simply illustrating how the system is flawed and broken. And whenever you have a system like this, people are going to always be incentivized to do something unscrupulous. I hate it because at the very end of the day, it's the customer that pays. But I'll never feel bad for an insurance company getting screwed. I never will. You'll never find a way to make me feel bad for an insurance company that's getting screwed. What somebody said, Farm HD said he's a surgeon. His physician group won't let him walk. We throw everything to see. His physician group won't let him walk. We throw everything to see what'll get approved. And see, that's another point. When you're part of these groups, you know what I'm saying? And because they're denying everything, again, here's another example of why people are incentivized. Child, you put everything on that damn paper to see what it is you can get to get approved. Thank you so much for helping support what we got going on with that, my pharmacy brother out there. Now, don't you do it and lose your pharmacy license. All right, y'all. Let's get into an undebatable fact in music. Oh, I didn't want to do the square root. I want to know, not the square root. What's that? I don't know why the square root came up. Let's get into this. The neighborhood talk wants to know, do y'all agree Billboard lists Nicki and Drake as the biggest male and female rappers of the 21st century? I'm literally spending 27 seconds on this. There's no debate. There's no debate. They're whether you like him or her, hands down, they are the biggest rappers of the 21st century. They are. They are the biggest rappers of the 21st century. I don't think that there is any debate. We're going to move on to the next story. And shouts out to all 8,690 of y'all in the chat. I see you. I love you. Thank you for the love and the continued support. Funky Bunch coming in this bad boy squad. Listen, y'all, we're going to laugh at this story right here. Y'all going to get mad at me because we don't kind of flew through these stories, but this good because that means I can get the roof Chris before they close and get me a filet mignon medium and a sweet potato souffle. We got this and one more story. Charge it to my head, not to my heart. MasterCard Marlo. MasterCard Marlo says that hold on, what I want to do here. MasterCard Marlo, I got a sound bite for y'all.
So after 10 years, 8 years, I just got my peach, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So I finally got my peach and the world was happy about me getting the peach. So to true fans of Real Housewives of Atlanta, that was a big deal. And to be honest with you, I wasn't happy about it.
You weren't?
I was not.
Why?
Because I love being a friend. I felt the show was in a bad place and don't think I can come and just save the show. I came on with the originals. It was a different type of show. It was a different day and age. And I feel the show just got dark all of a sudden. Like a lot of us didn't have respect for each other. We went too far below the belt, including me. And a lot of the girls have never respected me. They hated my story. They hated that I was sitting on the couch with them. And maybe they went to Harvard or they went here and they went to this school. And hey, I'm just from St. Petersburg, Florida. And I've been to jail before. I'm from 5 different foster homes. I'm from the hood. And they probably felt you weren't supposed to be sitting here with me. So they were upset with what God had my story to be.
So, you know, the internet has mixed reviews about this, right? Because a lot of people are saying, Marlo, you now saying this after the fact, but when you got your peach, you did a whole photo shoot, you was celebrating, you was doing all this, that, and the third. And, you know, granted, I'm not going to sit here and speak and say what's in somebody's heart and what's not, but I am definitely side-eyeing Marlo's commentary, right? There is some truth to what she was saying, but I also think, Marlo, that there was a part of you that we saw on the screen that you wanted that peach because those girls, to your point, they went out of their way to make you feel like you were inferior to them, and you had it in you to prove to them that you were equal, if not better than they were. And shouts out to you because nobody should ever be made to feel like they're inferior to anyone. But Marlo, I find it odd when you talk about the show being dark, and I love the fact that you said you were included in hitting below the belt and adding some of that darkness. Because while I did not watch the season where Marlo had a peach, I paid attention through social media, and Marlo, unanimously, everybody agrees that you were the darkness. Everybody says you got that peach and you did way too much, and you were the darkness. Now, I will say this again, a lot of things can be true at the same time. The show was in a bad place when they offered Marlo that peach. The show was in a bad place. And I do think that there was some level of pressure placed on Marlo's shoulders to try to come through and redirect the show and breathe some life into the show. I was one of those people who wanted Marlo to get her peach, but I wanted Marlo to have a peach very early on. After Marlo got the peach, we then realized Marlo might have been better off as a friend of the show. And honest and truthfully, that's how we were used to seeing her for so long. She would pop up on an episode here, pop up on an episode there, dressed down to the gods. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I would not mind seeing Marlo returning in that capacity. I would not mind. I think Marlo was great TV when she jumped in, stirred stuff up, played around with the girls, and dressed them down to the ground. I think Marlo did very well in that capacity. And I also think, I'm going to tell y'all another thing, though. I also think that it's unfair that y'all gave Marlo one season with a peach and didn't give her another one, right? Because I think she should have got at least 2 seasons. I think that After being a friend of the show for so long, she understood that assignment inside and out. Being a peach holder, she didn't quite grasp that assignment, and y'all didn't give her a chance to course correct. Y'all just nixed everybody on the show. So I'm going to always be a fan and an advocate for they say she got 2 seasons. Oh, well then, girl, you didn't understand the assignment because you was just dumb then. You must didn't read the room nor read the damn comments when the people told you what you was doing was way too damn much. Nevertheless, I want to see Marlo come back in a friend of the show capacity because that was a great situation. The list. We got one more story, then we're going to get to the list. So remember when I told y'all on Instagram the other night that I had just got off the phone with Mama D and we was laughing? And she said that somebody could kiss her anus ass. Well, when Mama D called me, the reason why I didn't reveal what we were talking about and who she was talking about is because at that time, that was just a private conversation that she and I had. But since that time, Mama D has taken to the internet to explain how she says Scrappy, his threesome, and everything going on in his life with this new baby, the baby mama, the divorce with Bambi, put her in the hospital. And she told me to my ear that she almost died. Take a listen.
A lot of shit that Scrappy had hid about a threesome. And I can't elaborate on it tonight, but I just know it put me in the hospital for 3 days. And people say, and y'all know if you're mothers or teenagers or grown adults, that they say don't let your kids kill you. They're right. They're not wrong. I can only speak for me. I love my kids unconditionally. Am I down with them in their wrongness? No. I do not take up for Scrappy and his wrongness. And I can tell you what has happened with me and my son's relationship. He has hung the phone up on me and not talked to me for 2 weeks. Yeah, and that's okay.
And so, in the conversation that I had with Mama D, she revealed some things that was going in and out their household. I won't reveal those things because she didn't reveal them. But she says when she found out what was going on with Scrappy, essentially it shot her blood pressure up super high. And I think she had to do 2 days in the hospital. And then she told me, if my memory serves me correct, that even while in that hospital, she couldn't get a hold of Scrappy, or he wasn't talking to her, or maybe something to that degree that she was saying. Here's the thing. I'm not a parent, and I guess some people are just helicopter parents and they just can't help. It's very easy to tell somebody you just need to stop and back up and get out of your son's life. But I guess if you've got that emotional tie and connection, you just can't help it at this point. I'm 41. Scrappy's got to be my age. Scrappy's got to be my age. I think any therapist would easily tell Mama D that Scrappy is not the problem and that Scrappy did not put you in the hospital. Mama D, you put yourself in the hospital for being way too invested. But when you listen to Mama D speak, when she speaks to me personally, oftentimes she speaks of Scrappy as if he is this feeble-minded little boy whom, if she does not get involved, the world will take advantage of her son and do harm. And she's not going to stand by and let no woman or the world do any harm to her son. That is her position. That is her position. But long story short, Mama D, everybody feels like you need to mind your damn business. And especially at the point in which you almost got put in the hospital. But I also think y'all need to understand this too. This is a very unique situation, right? Mama D is not a full-time cast member of the show. Okay. And the only way Mama D keeps her checks coming in is to stay involved in all of this stuff. Then it gives her relevance to be able to bounce between Love and Hip Hop Atlanta in Love and Hip Hop Miami. So what I think happens, and I may be wrong, I think that Mama D gets deeper involved in these things than a mother normally would for the sake of love and hip hop. And now once she's in it, she can't help but feel it because she's all up in the mix. I think if there was no Love and Hip Hop involved and Mama D was just back to living her regular old life with her and her man, she wouldn't have the wherewithal, the capacity, or the time to even be involved in all of this mess. But Mama D is incentivized. The word of tonight's show is incentivized. Mama D is incentivized to be all in Scrappy's stuff, because without being enthralled in Scrappy's drama, then Mama D has no reason to be on the show. That's my 2 cents on the situation. And on to the list. Y'all know good and doggone well I'm not about to dox these people on nobody's internet. Now, come on now. Y'all trying to get these people to sue me for the little bit that they got. I definitely think, though, that some of the people on the list got the message, because I got a couple emails today with a few people apologizing and so on and so forth. Y'all know damn well I ain't finna ruin everything I got spraying these people on no doggone list. Now, y'all messy. Do you see how people, you know how your mama always said, if your friends jump off the bridge, if you gonna jump too, y'all wanted me to jump off the bridge. Y'all really wanted me. Why? Do this look like Zeus? It's people like, see, that's why Zeus Network, Love and Hip Hop, and all of that type of stuff is so popular, because y'all like train wreck TV. Y'all like mess. Y'all like mess. All 9,186 of y'all in this chat, damn near 10,000 of y'all coming on here messy. Just won't mess. If y'all want mess, carry y'all ass over to Zeus, and I'm finna take my ass over to Roof Chris. Bye.